recently I wrote my book, Win at Freelance Writing, and I'm so excited about the book. The book is coming out on April 22nd. If you're watching this video after April 22nd, then the book is live. The link is in my description. And I learned so much along the way because with this particular book, I wanted the launch to be successful. I wanted it to be a book that becomes a bestseller. So there are steps that I took, and I'm going to be talking about that in today's video. And so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I wrote the book, right? I'm going to also talk about using a tool known as Publisher Rocket to research specific keywords that you're going to use in your book descriptions and even as you upload the book to Amazon. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about, of course, we're going to talk about uploading the book, and then I'm also going to talk about marketing the book. So if all of that sounds like your cup of tea, something you want to hear more about, grab a pen, grab a notebook, grab your tea, and let's do this. So now let me first of all talk about writing the book. So the book idea really has come from this channel. I've had this channel or been active with this channel for a little bit over 2 years, and I noticed I was getting more questions the more I talked about freelance writing, and people began to recognize me for freelance writing. I now have a podcast where I talk a lot about freelance writing, and I kept on getting the same questions over and over again. And so I took those questions and I turned them into the different chapters within the book. So, maybe you're watching this and you tend to get certain questions about your particular subject area and you want to write a book about it. Don't overstress, don't overthink it. Take the most common questions you get about that thing that you do and answer them in the best and most detailed way possible, and you basically have a book. And so that's what I did. I just really took the questions, sat down, and then took all the experience that I have. I didn't go and take somebody else's experience, all the experience that I have had over the last 3-4 years as a freelance writer, and answered those questions within the book. And within 3 weeks, I had an 83-page book that was ready to go. And so don't overthink it, and also don't think that the book needs to be super long. And so now I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you exactly how I formatted the book to get it ready to upload to Amazon. All right, so of course you're going to need your manuscript for the book. I used Microsoft Word. I am a subscriber to Microsoft Office 365. It's about $5 or $6 a month, and I gain access to all their suite of tools. But you don't need to use Microsoft Word. You could use Google Docs. You could also use other free software that are out there. I think one that's out there is OpenOffice. You could also use that. I actually have a video on alternatives to Microsoft Word that you can check out right here. All right, and so I used Microsoft Word for this. And then I made sure to set it up so that I had a 9:6 cut for the book. I find that this is helpful, especially since I plan on publishing a paperback version of the book, that this is helpful to set it up that way. So the way that you do that is by going to layout, and once you go into layout, you should be able to set margins, orientation, size, so on and so forth. So I went into size. And then once you go into size, you can actually scroll down and choose the appropriate size you want. For this A5 is close to that 6x9. It's actually 6x9 or 9x6, 6x9 I wanted. But if you don't find that, you can go into more paper sizes, and you can actually set the width and the height yourself. So in this case, I set it to 6 for the width and then 9 for the height, so that I could actually have the right trim for it once I upload that to Amazon. All right, so I also chose for my margins something fairly, standard. So that was the setting I chose: 1 inch for the top and bottom, and then 0.75 inches for left and right. And then a really helpful thing with with Microsoft Word, of course, is that it has the word correct, you can do spell check, but I recommend that you don't just depend on spell check, that you actually read through the document multiple times, or have somebody else, preferably a professional editor, go through your book and make sure that it is error-free as much as possible. Next thing you need is a cover. All right, and you need the cover both for your ebook and for your paperback. So what I have here is the ebook cover. You also want to make sure that the text is big and bold, because you have to remember that on Kindle or even on mobile devices, people are going to be reading at a much smaller resolution, or smaller, they have smaller images. Okay, so you want to make sure that the text pops out at somebody that's looking at this on a phone screen from a distance, right? So if this text was too small, then it's going to be difficult for them to read it, but it takes up about 75% of the whole cover, so it's going to be possible for them to read it. It may be difficult for them to read the subtitle, but really what I want them to see is this right here, so that's good enough. You'll also need to have a paperback cover, and so this is what my paperback cover looks like. It's going to have both the back and front matter, and you want people to be able to, once again, it doesn't matter what's on the back, because people are going to order this online and read it physically, but you want the text on the front to take up as much space as possible and to be bold and beautiful. All right, so once that was done, it was time to start doing some keyword research specifically for the Amazon platform. Amazon accounts for about 70% of ebook sales all around the world, and so it makes sense to publish your book there. And so I took to Publisher Rocket and began to do my research, and this is how I did it. Publisher Rocket is a paid tool. I'll leave a link in the description below, but it can be really, really useful in researching keywords, researching competitors, researching how much people make with their books, and gain an appreciation of what you're getting yourself into. So I find the keyword research tool really, really helpful, because it helps me know how many people may be searching for a particular idea on Amazon. So I'm gonna type in work from home ideas for women, because even though this is long-tailed, a long-tail keyword, that means it has multiple words in it. People are going to be looking for something that's tailored to them. I am targeting a lot of women, even though men can read my books too, and so it's helpful if I can have my book rank and search for this, right? So we're going to search for that. Okay, so this is helpful. Once this comes up, you just analyze, and once you analyze, you get to see how many people are searching for this per month. So there's an estimated 6,000 searches for this particular key phrase a month. There are about 81 competitors, and people make an average of $442 per month for this particular keyword. All right, so they could be making money from different keywords too, so just note that. And you can definitely click on here and check the competition. So that means other authors who have written books that rank in Amazon search for this particular key phrase, and now there are all these other books on there. It's really helpful. You can click through and then research what they have written for their descriptions, any relevant things that you can learn from there. I find that it's really helpful. And you can also find out how much monthly sales they're making. All right, so as you can see, this is a fairly profitable niche. There are people making just a little bit of money, but there are also some who are doing really, really well with this particular key phrase. So once you search for it and are satisfied with how many searches per month and so on, you would save that to a file. In my case, I created a OneNote document that has everything to do with this particular book on here, starting with the keywords I planned to be using in writing my book description. And also, once we get to the part where I show you how to upload the book, this is also going to come in handy. So then once that is done, I also will write my book description. So I wrote down the title, I wrote down the book description. I also wrote down the category, and this is important in choosing the right categories for your books to go in on Amazon. And so just using some of those keywords that I found here, I wrote down a description for my book. And this makes it easy because once I go to upload the book, I can just copy and paste this information and put that in Amazon and then move on. So now all these things were ready, right? I had the keywords, I had my description ready, and my book was ready. So what was the next thing? Uploading it to Amazon. All right, so to publish your ebook, you want to come into Kindle Direct Publishing. So you're going to go to kdp.amazon.com. Creating an account is super easy. If you already have an Amazon account, then you can just use that login to log into Kindle Direct Publishing, okay? All right, so now we're just going to upload the ebook. I already have the book on my desktop. I have it saved both as a Word document and also as a EPUB. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Once you're signed in, of course, choose your language. In this case, it's English. And then we're going to enter in our book title, which is When I Freelance Writing. So it usually says that the subtitle is optional, but I highly recommend that, especially if you did your research for keywords, that you put that in there. And so this subtitle is actually on my book cover as well. So I just say everything you need to know about making your first $1,000 to $5,000 per month as a home-based freelance writer. All right. And so once that's done, I'm gonna, if this is a series, we put that there. Those are all optional. And so I'm just gonna put my name here. All right. And then once I put that there, if I had any contributors, I would do that. Then I would go back into my document that has my descriptions and all the research for this particular book. I already wrote this book description, and so I'm just going to copy all of this. All right. And then we're just going to copy that. Once that's copied, we're just going to go come and paste it here. This saves a lot of time. Just make sure that you go back in and edit anything that, you know, may be problematic, but everything here looks great. Once that is done, I own all the publishing rights. Once again, I'm gonna go into my document and then pick some of the keywords I had researched and put that into my uploading page. And so I have those copied from my OneNote into here. Now, of course, you have up to 7 search keywords, and it's optional, but I do think it's important for you to research those keywords and then put them here as relevant. Next, we're going to choose our categories, and I found that when you go on Kindle and you do your category research, this is also important. All right, find books that are similar to yours and see which categories they're in. That they're a little different from what you get when you set your categories here. I actually got a really good piece of advice from another best-selling author called Gundi Gabrielle. She has some really great books on Amazon, and she had recommended to actually reach out to Amazon, the Amazon customer service, to actually add some of those categories for you. So that's what I plan on doing. But for now, we're going to choose some categories for the book, and this is nonfiction and most likely falls under business and economics. Okay, there are other ones it could fall under, but business and economics. And then I'm going to look for something that is so if you look at my OneNote sheet here, the categories I was looking at was business and money, entrepreneurship, small business and starting a business, business and money, marketing, sales, advertising, writing skills. But business and money definitely is not on this list. So I'm just going to look for like starting a business or small business and then choose that. I can definitely change that later. And this is a great thing about this, is that you can change this later. Don't feel like once you have a category, that is all that you can do. You can definitely change it. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to choose the ones that are most relevant. And then if this was a children's book, of course, I'd select the ages, but this is not a children's book. Okay, so now it says, are you ready to release your book now, or you make your book available for pre-order? And either one of these is great if you want to release your book now or available for pre-order. I am just going to just save and continue for now. I haven't published it yet. Next, we're going to upload our book manuscript. But before you do that, you're usually asked, do you want to enable DRM, digital rights management? And usually what this is, to inhibit or prevent unauthorized sharing of your book. And so if you would like to turn that off, you can definitely turn it off. If you want to turn it on, people can still lend it to people who are within the Kindle ecosystem. And they can definitely buy it as a gift for somebody else, but they can't really share it unless they're doing something illegal, really share it with somebody else that didn't buy the book. All right, so now we're going to upload the ebook manuscript. I have it saved both as an EPUB and as a Word document. I'll pick that and then upload it. And while the ebook manuscript is uploading, I can actually go and upload my cover as well. So this is why it's good to have all of these ready to go. Uploading, and it is also processing. So it went through, the manuscript actually went through and uploaded successfully. Yay. It didn't see any errors, and so just gonna wait just a little bit. It says cover uploaded successfully, and then you can wait a few minutes to just launch the online preview just to take a look at what it looks like. All right, so now it's all nice and uploaded. I get to preview it on this Kindle device. So you can choose the device you preview the book on, either a phone or a Kindle e-reader. So let's look at a phone, what it's going to look like. And then you can flip through the pages. All right. It looks great so far. And so once you've done that and you are happy, you can also take a look at it on a Kindle e-reader. Looks good so far. And then people can definitely change the font and the text as they go along within the book. Once you have previewed it, you can enter your ISBN or your publisher name. This is completely optional. I don't think it necessarily affects the sales of your book or how it shows up in search, but if you intend to make self-publishing a career, then it's helpful to have your ISBN and your publisher name in there. For now, I'm just going to leave these blank. We're going to save and continue and go into pricing. So once we get here, there are a number of things that you could do. You could sign up for KDP Select. I'm not going to choose that. If you want to read about KDP Select, there are definitely a lot of articles on it. But once you sign up for KDP Select, you can actually opt out of it every 90 days, but there are restrictions on where else you could publish your book. So I'm choosing not to sign up for KDP Select for my book, so I'm just going to move on from there. I'm going to make this all territories. I hold rights to all the books in all territories, and then next comes the pricing, right? And so if you choose a price that is between 99 cents and then $2.99, it's usually a 35% royalty. If you choose above $2.99, you get a 70% royalty. So that really depends on you. Because I'll be launching this book at 99 cents on the first day and the first day only, I'm just going to put 99 cents here. It's just a low barrier to entry for most people. I'm going to allow for lending of the book. And then once that is done, you can just hit publish and you are set. Now, to publish a book as a paperback, you would go right here where it says paperback on the publishing platform, KDP publishing platform, and then continue with the process. It's very similar to the Kindle ebook. It's just the cover is going to be different. So now the books are uploaded, what do I need to be doing to market the book? And this is where a lot of people tend to fall short a little bit. We upload the book and we just hope people will come and buy, or we make a few announcements on social media and hope people will throng to the book. Doesn't work that way. All right. Just listing something for sale is not a marketing plan. It's important to come up with that. And so earlier on, I talked about involving my community in helping me choose a book cover, right? That is a way to start planting seeds for the book in people's minds. Another thing I did was to begin to build an email list about 2 weeks prior to launching the book. And so I posted this on my LinkedIn, I posted this on Twitter, I posted this on Instagram multiple times, not just once, at least twice a week leading up to when the book was launched. I would tell people, hey, you can sign up to get notifications of when this book comes out. That's what I did at first, and I got my first wave of subscribers. And then the next thing I did was I decided to incentivize that sign up for the email. So I actually gave away a free chapter of the book. I got great feedback from people reading that free chapter, and so that was also great feedback for me, that people enjoyed it and that most likely people are going to enjoy the book. So I did give away a free chapter, and so you can do something like that to just entice people to get signed up on the list. And now when you have people signed up to a specific list where they downloaded the first chapter of your book and they've enjoyed it, now they have even more incentive to buy your book when it comes out. And to be honest, while social media is an amazing tool for marketing, I really do believe that email marketing still is a very, very powerful way. And so if you can get people on an email list, you own that email list. If social media goes away tomorrow, you have that list. That is your list. Nobody can ever take it away from you. Whether there are 100 people on it, 1,000 people on it, 20,000 people on it, that is your list. And so having those people, it doesn't matter the size. It just matters that those people are engaged and those people are interested in what you have to offer. And more than likely, you're going to have a higher percentage of people from that list buying your book because you actually gave them something related. That was very, very specific to the book. And so that's what I did. And now, as I'm recording this, it's about 3 days to launch. And so my goal is to email that list, let them know on launch day that the book is launched, as well as, you know, a lot of other incentives and giveaways that I'm doing through the list I'm going to be implementing. So building an email list for your book launch is important. And then of course there's social media. Like I was saying earlier, planting those seeds of there's a book coming, here's the book cover, here's the first chapter, gets people interested. So even if they're not signed up to your email list, they still have seen it, it's still in their minds. And so on launch day, when you say the book is alive, guys, more than likely there are people from your social media followings who are going to click through that link and then purchase the book. I also find that having a content marketing platform, like having a YouTube channel, having a podcast, having a blog, having that also really can help with your book sales. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I really just wanted to give you a behind the scenes look of the whole book writing process and then actually self-publishing it. I did all of this in about a month or so. I want to say maybe 6 weeks. And so it is possible for you to take your expertise, package it as a book, and sell it to your audience. It's totally possible. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to do another video on the different platforms you could self-publish on. If that's a video you're interested in, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up.